November, December.
Merry Cringemas, sports fan, and it is Cringemas. You've been very good bad this year, so this Cringemas we are going to go through a movie. There are a lot of Christmas movies out there, and this is one of them.
Dear Santa, how are you? I'm not doing so well.
This is very, hey, how are you? And before you can answer, the person's like, well, I'm not very good, actually, coded. She tells us that the evil billionaire Ebner Frost is sending weird people.
And I think they're gonna do something really bad this Christmas.
This kid does not sweat the details. So in this letter to Santa, the little girl asks for help because Ebner Frost wants to take away the orphanage that she lives in. So much so that he's even repossessed their Christmas tree.
I hope you're really out there, Santa.
And I don't know if Santa's out there, but we smash cut to Hulk Hogan with hair. Goo! Somehow Hulk Hogan with hair is more unsettling than his typical riff-raff vibes. It's astounding. Hulk Hogan is seen beating up a guard, and we get our first taste of that good El Natural Hulk Hogan dialogue.
Never stop to smell the roses.
Hulk Hogan then beats up a chef, Rob Schneider, and a limo driver.
Oh, get him, lock him up.
But the numbers prove too much, and that weed whacker does not have strings in it. Turns out it was all an exercise, and Hulk Hogan is really some guy named Blake, who is also a billionaire, and this was just how he exercises. Nice of him to include the help.
Make a note, Chaz. My picture on the can isn't big enough.
So, a butler, a chef, and a limo driver walk into a bar. So we do know Hulk Hogan's name is Blake Thorn. It is kind of unclear what he does other than some sort of fitness products, but he also has Blake's rules, which everyone in the house is forced to memorize.
Here, rule number 105.
Yes, sir!
Do you know what you're supposed to do if you catch on fire? Stop, drop, and roll!
Your paintballs, sir. Blake Hogan then turns down an invitation to host a fundraiser for a local children's organization and decides to go out with his buddies and ride dirt bikes through Calabasas. Blake is if Richie Rich grew up and was also bad at acting.
That about covers it.
Clint Howard notably did get a payday for this movie. He's playing the bumbling local cop who thinks that Hulk Hogan and his friends are terrorists set on paintball mode.
Give me your paint gun.
We cut to a mall, and the Santa is missing. I bet he didn't even got many muscles.
How'd you like to be dead?
Hulk Hogan ducks into the mall to hide from his paintball crimes. We overhear a conversation where one of the elves appears to owe money to the evil Mr. Frost. We find out that Frost is trying to buy up the whole town of Lakeview or Lakeville or Laketon. I don't care enough to remember. And he apparently also got a really good deal on Metallica's old fog blaster machines from the Wherever We May Roam tour. Frost wants to buy this guy's shoe store, so he sends his henchmen in to torture him into agreeing, which I don't think is legally binding. We have Mr. Flint, who is a geologist apparently on permanent safari.
You are going to make such an interesting fossil.
We have a chemist, Mr. Vile. Get it? Who is obsessed with fart gas and has a methane machine that he sprays at people. And is apparently very proud of the Billy Bob teeth he got for 2 quarters.
The electrifyingly beautiful Miss Watt.
Miss what?
Miss Watt.
Miss what?
Miss Watt.
I tell ya, I don't know what's what. Hulk Hogan then decides to hide in this abandoned Santa suit, which surprisingly works.
Ho, ho, ho.
But his cover is blown when a kid stops him, and Hulk's a total dick.
Fax me, you little brat.
I'm on my fucking lunch break, okay?
And the cops see his underwear hanging out of his pants. I'd know those camo briefs anywhere. Get him, boys! Hulk Hogan then hides in an old-timey trash chute, and in hilarious irony gets hit with a falling Santa, falls down the chute, and hits his head.
Another drunk mall Santa.
The elf who owes the money steals his wallet, but also recognizes the driver's license inside. Blake hit his head so hard that he lost his memory, but also apparently doesn't need to go to the hospital.
I really don't remember.
So the elf convinces Blake that he is Santa Claus himself because the elf wants the $50 bonus for finding Santa. If they're not careful, he's going to hit his head too hard again and get his memory back. I've seen television. Hulk Hogan starts to slowly warm up to the children. Why does even Hulk Hogan's toupee have an unfortunate hairline? Lenny the elf tries to take Blake's credit card to the ATM and steal money, but of course it's one of those brand new fingerprint-only ATMs from 1996 that we all remember.
The way of the future.
Then two street toughs try to steal the donation jar from a sleeping lady. That money's for the orphanage. A little girl yells for Santa, who magically now not only likes kids, but also fights crimes. Hulk Hogan fends off the robbers very aggressively, then decides that he has to help out the orphanage. And the entire mall follows him out to the parking lot.
If I'm Santa, where's my sleigh?
So does he think he's Santa? He's starting to question things. Mr. Frost gets the deal from the shoe store guy, and we find out that he only needs one more property, and it just happens to be the orphanage.
Round up the troops and see if we can convince our little friends to adopt a new attitude.
We also meet Frost's main lackey, and it's cool to see what Loki was doing before Marvel. Leslie helps run the orphanage. She opens the door with apparently all of the orphans. They refuse to sell the property, and the bad guys decide to plant signs in their yard about upcoming sales at the mall and steal their statue, which every orphanage in California is legally obligated to have in the front yard. Another orphanage employee is about to get hit by the ice cream truck that the scientist bad guys are driving, but Blake stops him, to which the bad guys say,
Merry Christmas!
and leave. Then, of course, they offer Santa and Lenny a room for the night.
You can't start Christmas without me.
And it really just seems unclear if he does think he's Santa or not. Also, Mila Kunis is in this, so that's fun. Everyone's happy to see Santa, but Clayton seems suspicious.
When I saw the sign at the mall, I thought I might be needed here.
The little girl kisses Santa on the cheek. Hulk Hogan goes into some kind of weird trance that we can only assume is the Christmas spirit, dude. Weird. I look like Hulk Hogan.
Nice jammies.
Behold, Jesus Christ.
In the morning, Hulk Hogan comes out of his bedroom, but forgot his beard, dude. But just lies and says Mrs. Claus thinks the beard is itchy, so he only wears it on deliveries, which appears to be good enough for everybody. Hey, that's the title of the movie! Mila Kunis fixed Hulk Hogan's outfit, and so now he looks like a Santa stripper.
So, tell us, how did you get here?
Rooster.
In the next scene, Hulk Hogan is supposed to have a sweet moment with the little girl where they're singing a song together, but Hulk Hogan apparently couldn't be bothered to learn the lyrics.
November, December, you're so fine.
Hulk Hogan then fights the scientists again, but Taylor, one of the little orphan boys, is missing.
I think I know where he is.
Oh, you know, just based on that. You saw Taylor's headphones laying in the grass, and now I think I know where he might have gone. Hulk Hogan finds the kid, but also overhears Ed Begley Jr., Mr. Frost's evil plan. There's something underneath the orphanage and the surrounding properties that he wants to get his hands on.
What's under the orphanage?
Pizza dude's got 30 seconds.
The clubhouse.
The kids show Hulk Hogan the vault downstairs, but they only know the first 3 numbers of the 4-number combination. But Hulk Hogan knows it. This guy hit his head so hard he forgot who he is and thinks he might be Santa, but he's out here solving Scooby-Doo mysteries left and right. Apparently, there are all these kind of very valuable crystals underneath the ground that are also very delicate because if they get too much vibration, they'll explode.
Okay.
Which sounds like a great thing to have in your basement in Southern California. Loki breaks into the orphanage, but then is also surprised when Hulk Hogan is there.
Where did you... But I thought that...
They have a big fight in the bell tower. Yes, this orphanage has a chapel and a bell tower.
Santa, you slay me.
Hulk Hogan wins the fight, but is knocked off of the bell tower by a mechanical Santa Claus so forcefully that he flies out into the street 30 or 40 feet and lands in a garbage truck.
The picture's still not big enough.
Hulk Hogan wakes up and he's Blake, and the whole thing was just a dream. Except it wasn't. Hulk Hogan decides to call Leslie to see how they're doing, but she apparently hates him now, but it's just the scientist using a talk boy and tricking him.
Hi, kids. We're home early.
Not surprised. There's no such thing as Santa.
Haha, excuse me, folks. When's dinner? But with Santa out of the way, the orphanage will be lost. Mr. Frost then blows the front doors off of the orphanage. Frost comes in dressed like how people grocery shopped in 2020, and then tells the kids that not only is he going to get into the vault, but he's going to make them mine it, which is just ridiculous now in the 21st century. Like a billionaire would take advantage of child labor.
You can't open it, can't you?
Oh, yeah.
Turns out cracking vaults is the only way this guy can come.
Oh, yeah.
Lenny places a sneaky call to Blake.
Lenny!
I don't know how long it's gonna be before...
Loki grabs the phone.
Remind me to introduce you to my two little friends,
His balls.
Lefty and Righty.
The names of his balls. Hulk Hogan then declares that they now have a mission. And stop me if you've heard this one before, but a butler, a chef, a limo driver, and Hulk Hogan walk into an orphanage. Hulk Hogan and company are speeding down the streets racing to the orphanage, but get chased by Clint Howard again.
Just one?
3 Clint Howards. They dump salad dressing and protein powder out the back of the car to try to lose the cops, but they get surrounded. Oh, please, come on. In the 21st century, it would be wildly ridiculous for the cops to be so overly militarized. Hulk Hogan then dodges an actual missile. He then breaks into the orphanage, Home Alone style. Hulk immediately rescues the kids.
You're not really Santa Claus, are you?
No, I'm not. I just thought I was for a while.
Hold it. I think that's the trailer.
You're not really Santa Claus, are you?
No, I'm not. I just thought I was for a while.
Hulk and the kids then attack Mr. Methane, turn on his gas, and seal him in the suit. Yeah, Santa, kill him! But it turns out that's actually the only way this guy can come. Blake then goes to fight Miss Watt.
Miss who? Spread out.
But a wild Brutus beefcake has appeared, and we're in for one hell of a match, fans. Lenny then gives Miss Watt the old Wicked Witch, then gives Hulk Hogan his wallet back.
Lenny.
You're not gonna hug me or nothing, are you?
On account of that's the only way I can come. Hulk then rescues Leslie and Clayton by kicking down the door. There's gonna be no doors left in this orphanage. Clayton then makes Hulk Hogan take his state-mandated 15-minute break in the middle of this rescue so we can explore some of his lore.
You grew up here.
What?
Look.
Is that me?
Hulk Hogan was an orphan at this orphanage? This couldn't get any more ridiculous.
There's more.
Yes?
You see the boy sitting right next to you? Edna Frost.
Frost Bagley Jr. was an orphan too, and they were friends? Leslie locks Loki in the walk-in freezer.
You've got a big surprise coming to you.
Hulk Hogan walks down the Indiana Jones stairs to the basement and finds Frost, who finally recognizes him. They get into the crystal cave, and now it's time for a fight. Oh no, that thing's double-ended. They have a lightsaber battle, apparently.
You were the chosen one, brother.
But the fight causes too much vibration in this earthquake-proof crystal cave.
It's gonna blow!
Everyone makes it out, but, oh no, the orphanage is turning into claymation. The cops show up, and this is ridiculous. These days, a police officer would never point a gun at a child. The bad guys get arrested and are trapped in a very farty van. But where are the orphans gonna go, dude?
I think I know a place that's available.
Blake's expansive mansion? Nope, they just steal Frost's house.
Ho, ho, ho!
And that's a statuary of the hamburger helper thing. And of course, the moral of the story, the only way that a billionaire is ever going to actually even halfway attempt to help real people is if they hit their head so hard they forget they're a billionaire. And then, kind of not even really. Merry Cringemas, brother!